Hi, this is Made by Mommy, and today I'm going to teach you how to make this letter M charm using a crochet hook or the hook that came with your loom kit and 73 rubber bands. The M is the most challenging letter I've created yet. So if you haven't made some of my other letters, I'd suggest you do that first before you take on this challenge, just so that you can be familiar with some of the basic techniques before taking on this project, which is more advanced. To begin, take a single rubber band in the color you want to use. Wrap it around your hook 3 times. Then take 2 rubber bands and slide that tripled over band to the center, like that. We're now going to work our way up for another 4 pairs of bands. Until we have 5 pairs in a chain going up. So once you have 5 pairs on your band, we're going to do something a little bit different this time. This is the technique that I use to keep the structure of the M together. So once you have this band put through, before you put the other half back on, we're going to take another rubber band and wrap it around our hook twice. Slide that down and then put the other half of the band back on. So we've added another pair of rubber bands in the chain, but in the middle there's this extra doubled over band that we're going to be using later to connect to the other side. So once you've got that in place, we're going to repeat, taking 2, sliding it through, and again, before placing the other half back on the hook, take a band, twist, and place over the hook so that it's doubled. Slide it down, and then put the other half back on. It should look like that. Now we're going to add 2 more pairs of bands into the chain without adding one in the middle. So put that through. And there. Just like that. So that's going to be one side of our M, and we're going to create a temporary slip knot just so we can set this aside for the moment. So we're going to pull these 2 through here so that we can then just lay it down to wait for later. So just to confirm that yours looks the same as mine, you've got your chain going up, and then in these 2 you have those doubled over bands that we're going to be using to connect. So we're going to start now on the other side of our M. Again, the same way, taking a band, wrapping it around 3 times, and now adding 2 at a time until we have a chain of 5 pairs. So that's number 1, number 2, number 3, four, and 5. And now we're up to the 6th, so we're going to slide the 2 through, but then wait as we add the extra band in the middle. So putting that there, taking one more band, doubling it over, and then bringing this back on our hook like that. And do that one more time. So putting 2 through, and then getting one more rubber band, doubling it over, and then putting the other half back on. And now we're going to go up 2 more without extra rubber bands. And here's where we're going to turn for our M. So we're going to add 2 bands, and before placing the other half back on, we're going to catch that doubled over band that we put on earlier. So catching that doubled over band and then going back on with the other half. And we're going to do that again, sliding 2 rubber bands through, catching that second doubled over band from before. See, so slide the 2 through, and then catch that doubled over band that's below, and return the 2 bands onto your hook. And now we have the top portion of our M with the curve, and the chain will stay together with that band that's in the middle. So we're going to add one more pair of rubber bands here going down. And now we're going to add another pair, but with that doubled over band in the middle for the center of the M. So here's our 2, and double over the band, and then bring the other half back onto your hook like that. And now do the same thing again. Put 2 bands on, double over a band on your hook, and then replace the other half. So it looks like that now. And now we're going to put 2 bands without an extra. And now we're going to be working our way back up the M. So we're going to want to do 2 bands and then catch that cap. But since we want to make sure we go in the right direction, it's a little tricky. I'm going to slide this off and put my hook in the other way. As a righty, I find it much easier to work up the chain if it's on this side. So now I'm going to add the 2 and then catch this cap that's here. So taking 2 bands, sliding them through, and then catching my 2 doubled over from up here and putting it back on the hook. And then we're going to do that again, sliding 2 in, and then catching that doubled over one that's in the next position up, and putting the other half back on. And now you'll see we've got, you know, half of our M and the center V shape of the M that won't come apart because we've put those caps in. And we're ready to add another pair of rubber bands. There. And now we're going to start bringing together the half of the M that we already constructed. So these are the two pieces that we've constructed so far. And I think it's worth taking a second to look at them to make sure that you're going to connect them in the right direction. So I've pulled both off my hook right now so that we could look at it from this angle and see that I'm going to go through these two bands here, add my two rubber bands, and then catch the lower pair from the piece that we're connecting to, and then bring these two bands back on. We don't want to attach it upside down. It would not come out too well then. So it should look like this. And then we're going to repeat 2 bands, pulling through, catching this cap before putting the other half back on. Now we are at the top corner. We need to add one more pair of bands. Like that. Then we can undo the slip knot that was at the top of this portion and put our hook through all 4 of those loops. And we're ready to tie the M together. So we're going to take a single rubber band and pull it through all of these. And then create a slip knot by taking this band through the center of that. And you have your M, which will need a little bit of tugging to get all in the right place. And it's optional for you if you'd like to turn up the little corners on the bottom of the M to make it more fancy. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make the letter M with me today. And if yours didn't come out perfectly, I really hope you'll try again, because all of the steps that you need are here, and it just will take you a little bit of practice. Thank you again for watching. The best way to say thank you to me for teaching you is to share a link to my channel with your friends, to subscribe and click like below, and to leave a comment that lets me know what you'd like to see me do next. Thank you so much, and I look forward to looming with you again soon.